Bonjour à tous. Thank you for joining us. Merci d'être parmi nous. My name is Kendra Titley and I will be your moderator. Je m'appelle Kendra Titley et je serai l'animatrice de ce point de presse. Before we begin, please note that this press conference includes simultaneous and sign language interpretation services. It is available either in full French or in full English. If you are watching live, you can find our stream in each language on YouTube. Simply search our channels at City of Ottawa or Ville d'Ottawa. A note to media outlets joining us on Zoom. If you would like audio interpretation, click the interpretation globe icon on the bottom menu, then select your preferred language. You can ask your questions in the language of your choice. Today, we will be hearing remarks from René Amilcar, General Manager, Transit Services, Nicolas Truchon, Chief Executive Officer, Rideau Transit Group. We also have the following staff available to answer questions after remarks. Richard Holder, Director, Engineering Services, Transit Services, Troy Charter, Director, Transit Service Delivery and Rail Operations, and Mario Guerra, Chief Executive Officer and Acting General Manager, Rideau Transit Maintenance. At this time, I would like to invite René Amilcar, General Manager, Transit Services, to say a few words.
Merci, Kendra. Good afternoon,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you for joining us today. This afternoon, we will provide an update on repairs to the overhead catenary system that was damaged during Sunday night storm. We will also give an update on the enhanced O-Train Line 1 vehicle inspections. It is unfortunate that these two events happened at the same time, but I want to stress to our customers that these two incidents are not related. For the past 6 months, O-Train Line 1 has been running with very high reliability. These recent incidents have created considerable service impacts to our customers. So first, I want to speak directly to our customers. Our number one priority is your safety. I know that this is not the level of service that you expect and deserve from OC Transport. I'm sorry for the inconvenience and frustration you may have. Rideau Transit Group, RTG, has assured us they are working quickly to restore full service as soon as it is safe to do so. Donc, d'abord, je veux m'adresser directement
So I would like to talk directly to our clients. Our number one priority is your safety. I know that this is not the level of service that you expect and deserve from OC Transpo. I am sorry for the inconvenience and frustration you may have. Rideau Transit Group, RTG, has assured us they are working quickly to restore full service as soon as it is safe to make so.
We at OC Transport rely on RTG and are working collaboratively with them as they work to resolve these issues. We continue to actively monitor their work. We want this system back in service as much as you do. Thank you for your patience during this time. I will start by providing an update on the repairs to the overhead catenary system. During Sunday night storm, a section of the overhead catenary system was damaged between Ottawa and Lee's stations. As you will hear from my colleagues at RTG, they have cleared the area of debris and begun inspections and repairs. Special equipment to install the overhead wires was delivered to Ottawa and the installation of new wires began today. Additionally, due to the power loss, a train was stopped at Ottawa station and will return to the Belfast maintenance and storage facility for inspection later today. Rails in the impacted area are also being repaired. RTG will provide further information, but the current timeline for this work will take several days to complete. I'm pleased that RTG has completed some minor repairs that allow OC Transport Service to use the second track. This will allow OC Transport Service to run on the west end of the line. Starting this afternoon, trains will run between Tunis-Pasteur to Rideau stations in the west and from Blair to Saint Laurent station in the east. Customers can expect that air service will continue to operate between Rideau and Saint Laurent stations until repairs to the catenary system and tracks are complete. I will now provide an update on the enhanced vehicle inspections work. As you are aware, one light rail vehicle was removed from service for further inspection after an operator reported vibrations. This is part of our standard reporting procedures, and I thank the operator for following our safety protocols. Once the train was pulled out of service, an inspection found a failure in one of the wheel hub assemblies. This type of failure was unusual for the age and mileage. As a precaution, RTG has removed all rail cars that have more than 175,000 kilometers of mileage from service to undergo additional inspection. This is 20 cars in total. I'm pleased that RTG and Alstom acted quickly to begin the inspection. RTG and Alstom will undertake significant lab testing to understand the root cause. We expect this analysis might take some time to complete and will provide updates once we receive information from RTG on this. As the replacements are finished and safety paperwork is finalized, light rail vehicles will return to service. Transportation resources associated are on site to oversee the work of RTG and Alstom. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada has been advised and began their own investigation today. Alstom has also brought in additional engineering experts from Europe to find the root cause issue of the affected vehicle. I want to close by again thanking our customers for their patience. This is not the situation we want to be in today. We will continue to share the latest updates about service through all our regular channels. We continue to work collaboratively with RTG and Alstom. Our shared goal is to restore full service as soon as it is safe to do so and keep our city moving. I will now ask Nicolas Truchon from RTG to provide an update.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Renee. So in our desire to communicate directly to the Ottawa transit community, Mario Guerra and myself are here today to provide a general update on the two incidents that have had an impact on the Confederation Line service of the past few days. First, I'd like to express my disappointment with the current situation, especially given the last 8 months of reliable service that we've been delivering. We've learned important lessons from the incidents of last year, and these are now shaping how we respond and react to incidents like the ones we will be discussing today. Increased vigilance and awareness, rigor and quality have been part of our return to service plan and continue to be driving our day-to-day service delivery. We're working hard to respond better and address issues proactively. We know how partial service has disrupted the daily life of O-Train commuters, and we are working diligently to reinstate full service in a safe and reliable manner as soon as possible. I'd now like to turn it over to my colleague Mario Guerra for specifics about the two incidents that we will be discussing today.
Thanks, Nicolas and Renee. I'll talk about the wheel hub incident first, and then I'll provide some updates on the OCS incident. So last Thursday, LRV 27 was removed for service, as Renee has indicated. The vehicle was inspected, and we found initially that it had much more free play than is normal, As you know, we regularly test vehicles as a result of the axle bearing incident. This one had about 0.1 inches of play, where the normal number would be around 0.004. So as per the current procedure, the vehicle was scheduled to have its axle replaced. When the axle was removed, we found that the hub was cracked and had fractured. The investigation is still in its early stages in terms of to determine what actually happens. We're currently working with TSB and OC Transpo. As Renee indicated, Alstom vehicle experts are on site today to continue to help with the investigation. The train mileage was approximately 300,000 kilometers. The axle that was problematic was approximately 211,000 kilometers. This is to err on the side of caution and to be overly cautious as we typically are. We decided that 175,000 kilometers was the benchmark we would use, and anything over that would be held back from service and inspected, and that's where we are today. So a total of 20 vehicles will be held. We've already processed 2 vehicles that have been inspected. We have also taken the position we are replacing the hubs with brand new ones, and the existing hubs that were taken off are being put to the side, and they'll go through non-destructive testing at some point in the future, and then the determination will be made. In total, we're changing hubs on 4 axles per vehicle. It is quite an involved process. Our best estimate is 2 vehicles per day is what we're currently tracking to. We should have another 2 vehicles tomorrow morning. The axles have been dismantled. The faulty hub is being inspected by TSB, and we hope that it will be released so that the lab analysis can be performed to further determine the cause. Also, as Renee indicated, this is not linked to the original axle bearing. It's a different failure. We believe it may be fatigue related, but we're not 100% sure yet until we have further testing through the lab. If I can, I'll do an update on the OCS incident, and I'll be happy to take some questions after that. So about 11:15 on July 24th, we received a report of loss of power between Lee Station and New of Ottawa, and 2 traction power stations were reported as being tripped. Our technician arrived soon after that at the power station to try and determine the cause for the power failure. And then about 10 minutes later, one of the ROs reported to us that they had seen that the OCS was down. Preliminary indications in the video shows that there was a lightning strike that hit what is called a messenger wire. The messenger wire has hangers that actually hold up the power wire, the OCS. When the messenger wire was hit by lightning, it caused the messenger wire to separate, to break, which in turn put a lot of stress on the OCS, and in turn caused the OCS to also come down. In total, about 900 meters of cable came down, some of it on top of the vehicle that was out there, causing damage to the pantographs on the vehicles. Yesterday was to assess and start mobilizing, so we've done that. Work started this morning. We had a couple of priorities. Priority number 1 was to repair and ensure that the OCS on track number 1, which is the track that was not affected, that track was safe for use. We did that this morning, and we have now launched 5 vehicles to the west end of Ottawa, 4 vehicles for service and 1 vehicle as a spare. So that has now happened. The vehicles are all out there right now. So we'll continue to deliver that service. Once the service went through, then the power will be shut off again, and the crews will remain working on track 2 where the damage was concerned. Later tonight, we will work to retrieve the vehicle that's out there, probably after 9 p.m. tonight. We will do a multiple unit to toll. So we'll push the vehicle back towards U of Ottawa, and then we'll bring it through track 1, which has been deemed safe to do so. The work will continue over the next couple of days on the OCS. We also sustained some damage to the track. When the OCS wire came down, it actually arced, and a couple of sections of track were also damaged. So we're currently assessing how best to repair that as well. So we will have that repaired as well over the next few days. I think that's all I have. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much. I will now invite each media agency to ask their question. You may ask one question with one follow-up. We'll now start with Guy Genville at CBC Ottawa.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Thank you for your time today. You've identified two issues that unfortunately kind of piled up at the same time, which have complicated your efforts, I'm sure, to bring the service back in line. Both issues that you've described, do you consider them to be major issues of concern based on what you know now? Is one of greater concern than the other? And if so, why? I'm just hoping you can sort of get across to us of how much concern these issues should be at this stage.
I think all issues obviously are of concern when they impact service and safety. I think the lightning strike is just, Mother Nature. There's not much we can do about that. We will obviously look at the system to determine if it acted properly, if it did everything it could in spite of being hit by lightning. So that particular one there, I would say I'm worried in terms of ensuring that the system acted properly. The wheel hub, yes, it does worry me. We obviously have experienced a couple of incidents with the axles now. So we need to get to the bottom of it. We're being overly cautious, as cautious as we can be. Safety is paramount here. But we need to get to the bottom of the root cause so that we can put this behind us and put some long-term mitigations in place. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, as a follow-up, you mentioned regarding the lightning issue that there's not much we can do, but can you talk about what is currently in place to protect the overhead wires or the catenary, as I've heard them described? What's currently in place now to protect that system? And if there isn't anything in place currently, what is the city and OC Transpol and the maintenance contractor doing to better protect that system so that, if another lightning strike hits another part of the overhead wires tonight in a different section, let's say, that doesn't happen again?
Yeah. So, let me sort of add a little context. I've been in this business 40 years and I've never experienced a direct hit like this with lightning. They do happen from time to time all over the world. There are lightning arresters that are in place. And we will obviously look to our engineers to find out if they're enough, if there's more we can do. But from what I've known in a short period of time, when there's a lightning strike directly hitting that messenger wire, I don't think there's much that we could have done to prevent the situation from happening. But we're still in the early stages, so we'll need a little bit more time to investigate.
Thank you very much. We'll now go to Alex Gouge at City News Ottawa.
Hello. My first question, I guess, would be for Renee Amilcar. A lot of riders have been very frustrated with the lack of information. So why hasn't OC Transpo been providing as much information as they usually do in other instances?
Je vais répondre en français. On a le service de traduction, ça va aller mieux.
So we do have simultaneous interpretation. I will answer in French. I'm very surprised myself. I'm very surprised to have some complaints about communication. Before 5 a.m. yesterday, we sent all of the information that we have on our different communication channel. We had partial information about line 1. We also had a lot of information, a lot of signage for our passengers. We also send some staff to actually orient the passengers, tell them where to go and where to catch the R1 bus. I know that the Ottawa station is a special one. It's not very easy to find the bus stop, but all the other station, the bus stop is right in front. What you will see is the staff is wearing a red vest, and we have even more signage since we heard the complaints. The information was already there, but we want to improve communication. And at the same time, if we do have another incident, we have to be better. As 8:15 this morning, I sent a note to the mayor's office, to the councillors' offices, as well as the press, to give you some more information. Even if we are Tuesday and we don't have all of the answers, I think that it's very important to be transparent, be able to communicate. We have our partners, RTG and RTM, they are with us. I think this is a sign of good communication, and we're always open to improve our services and our communication services. Thank you.
And for my follow-up, a lot of the November derailment's very fresh in a lot of minds of Ottawans, especially with this week. What efforts are being put to maintain or regain the public trust in OC Transpo?
Je pense que le plus beau message qu'on peut
I
lancer,
do believe
quand
that
on
the
n'est pas
best
sûr,
message I can say is that when we're unsure, we just suspend all the service. And this is what our partners did. So RTG, RTMM decided to suspend the train service. And this is what we've done. I can give the floor to Mario. He might be able to give you more information. But when in doubt, we just suspend the service.
Thank you. I mean, obviously, as I think my colleague Nicholas alluded to, after that previous derailment, we've really taken steps to, with regards to our quality control processes and whatnot, so that we're in a much better position to react to these incidents and have both short-term and eventually long-term mitigations in place to address them. And that's what's happened here. Action was taken very quickly.
Thank you. We'll now go to Ted Raymond at CTV Ottawa.
Hi there, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, excellent, thank you. I guess my first question is for somebody at OC Transpo. I'm not sure entirely who will be able to answer this, but it's along the same lines as Alex's question about communication. I'd like to know when you knew that this was going to be a multi-day repair and why it took until after 5:30 in the afternoon yesterday for that update to be given to council and to the media.
Je peux répondre. Au fait, hier
I
matin,
can answer. At 8:15, we give a quick update. We are working with some collaborators. We try to understand what was going on and how fast we could repair part of the system. We have to understand that we needed some specialists from the RTG to have a first inspection. As 11 o'clock yesterday, we had a meeting with our collaborators, our partners. We made some decision, and we decided to reestablish the system on the west side of Ottawa after some repairs before we proceed with the major repairs. Afterwards, we prepared a plan. They came to see us, and we wanted to know if they could come here a little bit, to be here quickly, making sure they could look at the part that was failing. So we were working in parallel on two different incidents. I think it was very important for everyone, for the councillor, for the media, to have the right information. I do believe that with the information that we gave at the end of the day on Monday, compared to what we were at the beginning of Monday morning, I think it was much better. So we had a more robust plan, making sure that we could move forward.
Okay. My next question will be for RTG then. We've heard a ballpark of several days, to restore service to get everything done. Can we get a bit more specific? Are we looking at full service being restored before the end of this week, or do you think it's going to be later than that?
Thank you for the question. At this point, our best estimate is Friday to get service back up and running. That's what we're shooting for at this point. But, you know, as we get into the repairs, if things come up, that can be compromised. If things go well, it could be ahead of that. But our best estimate at this point is Friday. We will, of course, continue to supply vehicles for the West End and the East End surfaces we're doing today.
Thank you very much. Nous allons maintenant Julien Paquette à le droit.
Julien Paquette, le droit. Go ahead. My question is for Madame Amilcar. This is not the first time that we have an incident with the axle assembly. Are you worried? Do you think this could mean let's say, structural issue? And that's the reason why we're having recurrent incidents on the axle assembly. Thank you so much for your question. I think Monsieur Mario Guerra answered fairly clearly to this question. We had some issues with the bearing system. What is important to remember is that we are still trying to find the root cause of this issue. We're working on it. And the good news in all that is that when we will have the final solution, the issue will be resolved. Meanwhile, I want to be very clear for our passengers. We want to make sure that the service is safe. And when we do believe that there's a risk, we're simply removing the cars and the trains from service. That's it for me. Thank you very much.
We'll now go to John Willing at the Ottawa Citizen.
Hi, thanks, Kendra. Mr. Guerra, I wonder if you could take us into a little bit more detail about the wheel assembly issue and the difference between what has been found to be wrong with it now, or what you suspect is wrong, and how that's different from the issue identified out of the August derailment. Even if it's in kind of general terms, I understand you have to do lab analysis, but we've heard already that it's different. So can you kind of take us into what exactly is different about it?
I'll try. Please understand, I'm not the engineer. I don't know this stuff inside and out, but I'll try. The axle hub actually is what fixes the wheel in place, whereas the bearing is actually there to kind of keep it rotating in a safe and consistent manner. The two are not linked to each other. They're completely different units. I don't know if that explains it easier. I'm trying to simplify it as much as I can. The hub is kind of the part that goes around that the wheel is mounted to, and the bearing is inside, just like on your car. You'll have the bearings on your wheels, and you'll have hubs that hold the wheel in place.
Sure. Thanks for that, Mario. I appreciate it. And I'm wondering now, similar topic, the root cause analysis. I know that Alstom took until, I think it was this past May, to complete their root cause analysis based out of the August derailment. Do you expect it'll take that long to complete a similar analysis based on this new wheel issue?
No, I do not. I think this issue here will be a lot easier to determine by. I mean, the prevailing theory at this point is that it was due to fatigue somehow. Now, why is that? Is it a bad batch? We don't know yet. So I think when we start doing non-destructive testing on the hub that failed, as well as every single hub that we're taking off and have taken off, then we'll be able to tell whether it was a one event, or if it's something that's permeated throughout, or was it a bad batch? We don't know yet. But I think this particular instance will be a lot easier to diagnose and resolve.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Nous allons maintenant à Catherine Moras à Radio-Canada.
Catherine Moras, Radio-Canada. I would like to talk about the lightning that struck the messenger wire. Can you tell us when you had actually that power outage? Can you be a little bit more specific? I will start. In fact, it was very fast. The system is very well structured. As soon as the lightning hit, the pantograph from the car was almost getting there. It felt, and everything was done within 1 second. So the power outage was within 1 second. No, actually, I was referring to Sunday. At what time did the lightning struck the wire? It was 11:15 at night. Can you actually give the information, the Guerra's information in French, please? Nicholas, can you do the translation for Mario Guerra? Because Mario Guerra doesn't speak French.
No, I can hear the translator, so I have the question. If you would like me to respond in English, if that's okay. Is that okay?
No, I was really just asking for a French translation, but that's okay. If I may, j'aurais une autre question en fait pour.
I have a follow-up question for Madame Amilcar. You said that you were surprised by the number of complaints about communication. Do you have statistics? Unfortunately, no. Some counselors called me. And actually, we had some, in 2022, we're using a lot of social media. This is part of our daily lives. What I know are the facts. This is what I shared in the note that was circulated earlier. We want to make sure that we will improve the circulation of information. We're very open to improving our system. It's always a permanent improvement procedure that we have in place. In fact, everything was fast. We acted fast. I may understand that at one point, some passengers were not happy and they were loud and clear. But I'm very proud of the work done by the team under these circumstances, but we're going to try to improve as much as possible. Last question. You're talking about the messenger wire. Do we have to replace it or change it? We have 900 meters of wire to change. It will be replaced.